Charlie Iverson, his boy was over in Germany, and he was all close to that. And I asked him, and of course that's what, 30 years later. I asked him, I said, did you see the Siegfried line? He said, I asked him about that over there, and he said, what's that? You know, they'd tore all that stuff out. And after the war, you see, they got it all cleaned out. But they didn't know what it was anymore. They wouldn't admit it.
Well, when you were up in the mountains there and that winter, where it was so cold, that was an outpost you were in there. And then,
yeah.
Is this where that...
That's where the wild pig come through one night. He was in we were up there, and we was on the outpost, and there's two big rocks up there, and that's where we was doing our... We'd see any activity, we'd radio back to the headquarters, and they'd get the artillery, and they would fire on the roads there. Well, anyway, we was in this hole there, and about 28 below, and we cut branches off the trees and laid them down. We laid on them, and we had 2 blankets, and we'd lay there, then we'd pull snow in on top of it. That's what kept us warm. And he put his back to me for a while, and pretty quick I put my back to him. And anyway, this one night while I was standing there, I was on guard, and anyway, I said, I'm getting sick, and something's wrong. God damn, I heard a pig. Jesus Christ, I always heard, you know, when you start hearing things, you know, you're losing your mind. Yeah, God damn it, I heard a pig, and I said to Mike, I said, I'm sick. And he said, why? Me too. I said, what's the matter, Mike? He said, I just heard a pig. I said, me too. Jesus Christ, we both heard the pig. So next morning we looked, within 12 feet of where he was, a wild boar went through there. See his tracks. Well, anyway, that's where we was going to have the tea and all. But this Mike, he was a Russian, his dad came from Russia. And Mike, he was hell on tea, and he said, you know, it's been a long time. He says, you know, I ain't going to put up with this no longer. I'm going to have my tea. All right, how you want to do that? I said, well, he had it figured out. He said, we'll take, and I never thought about it, bonehead. We'll take the needles. He said, we'll a bunch of these needles, we fire up, and he said, you take your helmet like this and keep going. He said, and scatter it so they don't see it. And the guys, they said, them son of bitches are crazy up there. They said, look at them, they got fire going. Way back in the line, they could see us up there. He said the smoke was going straight in the air. About that time, Mikey stuck his finger in there, and I was a fan of their way, you know, and it was melting down, and it was just getting warm, and I said, to get a little hotter. No, I put the tea in, no, I said, we better wait to get a little hotter. And about that time, the mortars come in through the trees. They dropped the mortars on it, and I was holding this canteen. And right next to my hand, there was a hole about the size of my finger, went through that goddamn canteen.
Dumped the water.
It missed me entirely. But neither one of us got hit, but we didn't make no more fire up there. That was the end of that. But that's where I froze my feet, that and my toes. But some of them up there in the mountains, you know, it was that cold up there, you know, at night you got to lay there with your hands are going like this, and your feet, you know, in your shoes, and you know you're rubbing on something, but that's the only circulation you got. And some of them didn't do it. And this is something that a lot of them won't believe. But within a week, they were carrying people out of there. They had their boots laced to the top, and the laces were, their feet, they froze and they swelled so bad that they broke the laces out of the boots. Well, they had to cut their legs off because they were done. But we survived her. Well, I froze my toes, but little ones on the side, but other than that, it was okay. I don't know how they live through shit like that, but you do. Supposed to.
This is...
like the guy said, you're a survivor, that's all. You know.
The outpost where this officer chewed you out for putting up sandbags and...
Oh, I told you that.
You told him
that's where I grabbed the hand grenade.
What makes you think we aren't here?
That was on NGO. Corner said, no. And when I grabbed it, and it's on my belt, you know, I just pulled her off. I had my finger on the loop, and he said, "But shoot me, I'll pull her." And anyway, now that he put her back in the pocket. But anyway, if they were going on a firefight that night, and they called her off. But if they'd went on that firefight, I'd have lowered that son of a bitch down, and he knew
You'd
it.
have got him then, huh?
No, that son of a bitch. But you know, before he left, we come back, he had to come, me and Lang, he had to come shake our hands. He said, you know, he said, I'm glad I'm able to shake your hand, he says, and good luck. He left. He didn't say no more about it, that's all he said.
How about this captain that wanted a Jeep?
Huh?
That captain that wanted a Jeep, you had to go find a Jeep.
That's company commander, I shouldn't tell that. You put that on tape, I'd get in trouble. We've done a little stealing. He come one night, and, first place, after this, Nichols went, he was the one that was giving me the trouble. And we know he's getting a new company commander, but he's a Jew, so we had it in for him before he ever come. We come to find out he's a West Pointer, and they don't come better than that. And he was one of the nicest men I ever knew. And he come one day, and you know, towards the end of the war, you couldn't get any new stuff, and there was getting a lot of new outfits were coming in, fresh from the States, and they're going to win the war all by themselves. They knew it all. And he said, you know, he said, we got Walker, he said, me and Paul was laying in a sleeping bag, and they was officers' bag. We'd stole them too. We'd do them things. And anyway, he said, you know, you could get off your ass, he says, and get us a Jeep. He said, that's the least you could do. And somebody told him, he said, he wanted to know, he said, who had the most nerve? I said, Walker and Paul, neither one of them's got any nerves. They said they'd do almost anything. So, that was their words, not mine. Anyway, he said, you go, but he said, if you get caught, he said, I'll have to mark you for desertion, but he said, don't get caught, we need something to drive. So we went back, and God damn it, it was raining that night, and the old Jeep we had, they didn't have no wiper on it, you know, you had to run it by hand. You don't believe that either. They didn't have such a thing. But the new Jeeps come, you know, pull her out, that's vacuum, that was nice. And anyway, we went back and got it getting midnight. Nothing was happening, we weren't getting anywhere. You know, we pulled in, there'd been an old fortress there. We had been in there and bivouacked in there. And we went in there and we looked, Jesus Christ, inside there must have been 12, 14 people. Eagles on their nest, you know, generals and stuff, majors. Well, as we sold a 4-star general, we didn't know it. Didn't make any shit difference to me. Well, anyway, we went through, and the guard, we walked through, you know, we slewed in, we went through, and that was okay. And we saw that, and I looked down, and I'm looking to see for something with the key in it, something that had gas. And this son of a bitch had a key and it was full of gas. I said, this is it. Jump in. Paul, he jumped in there, and I backed her up, and I went past the guard, and I thought it was funny. We come down there, and we never rehearsed that, you know. You'd think you'd have to rehearse it. And anyway, but the way things go. We go down to the garden. He stepped up in here. He slid
to attention.
Paul, he down the road we went. We get down there. He says, "You take your Jeep, and I'll take this one." So, goddamn, he drove that one, and I drove the old son of a bitch. You know, my fingers was just about wore to the bone time I got back. Well, we going. The main thing was to get off the main road. We was a little scared of that. Figured somebody come after us. But little did they know that they had missed the goddamn Jeep. We was miles away by then. And we up till that point, we didn't know that we had a 4-star General Jeep. And anyway, we took off through the country, through the woods, and we'd worked down there. There's a gravel pit, and we'd been in there, and we'd done some work in there. And here's a tree in the road. Geez, of all things to happen, we don't need that. He said, well, what about an axe? You got an axe? No, I ain't got none. We didn't have none on our Jeep. We looked behind. Shit, there was the axe, the shovel, the whole goddamn works. So we, Jesus Christ, I said, the 4-star General, how about that? I saw that star.
They had a flag, those 4 stars on. They didn't know they had the General's Jeep.
So anyway, we got the axe out, and we chopped the son of a bitch, and we swung the end around, away we went. And we got back in just about daylight. We couldn't use no lights up where we were, you know. But anyway, we got in there, and anyway, they was there to greet us, and the company commander says, wonder if they'll get anything. Yeah, he said, they was in an old railroad yard, and it was by the depot there, and they had the crane out there, and he had the slings out there, and he said, drive her up here. There they had everything there.